Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Sonic Frontiers. Last time we took control of Sonic, we managed to get, well, 3 Chaos Emeralds now. So, now Sonic has to climb those towers and see what's up. Remember, you need Lookout Cocoa for this, which they're honestly not that hard to find. All you need to do is just to side loop, various treasure spots around the island. They're not that bad. Of course, if you haven't found any yet, then once you can take control of Sonic, you're gonna want to, well, find those treasure marks anyway. And complete those challenges, you poor souls. And speaking of poor souls, the towers are back. And they certainly incorporated level design into the mix. That didn't count. Yeah, they certainly incorporated, some level design into their mix. I remember when this was out, when this was new. Like, months ago. At this point, months ago. And this was before they even considered the idea of a patch. And believe me, they do listen. They do, oh god. They do listen. And I keep seeing clips of people failing these towers, and I'm like, oh gosh. So that was a tiny bit of a concern for me, because people thought that Sonic Frontiers was way too easy, but then you saw it in the cyberspace levels. And they cranked up the difficulty. Thankfully, cyberspace levels technically are still optional, but these towers aren't. You need to climb these in order to progress the story. When the game wants you to. And, am I the only one who thinks that these towers aren't that bad? I mean, I didn't... Well, I hate to bring up the skill issue argument, but... Okay, to put it in a nice way, I've been raced up on platformers, like 3D platformers and 2D ones, for essentially all my life. So, these come more naturally to me. Like, I can at least understand the, design a little bit, and I can understand, the controls. And if I can understand the controls, then I can understand how to do things like this. My main point is to just take things slow. Like the Blood Flow song says, take it slow. And go with the flow. And yeah, just take things slow. Really think about what you want to do. And also, by the way, Light Dash, if you don't remember how to do that, is press in on the left stick. I'll go into more of this later.
Levante, gen gaudi le, gen hendu, le finke, du gujurfor, da darutu garuki, da fasas dimu baru, da ishkutu ankaru ken baru.
The Tower Trials have begun. This is Dragon's Trial. That was the name of that pilot of Giganto. Sonic's stats will be fixed here. And you'll have to just basically do the best that you can. Just like Sonic says. Do the best you can. So, for this challenge, you'll need to... Oh, Jesus. For this challenge, you'll need to fight 5 of these guys, and they're really fast. They hit pretty hard, and your stats will be temporarily reduced down to level 1. And they really do mean all of your stats. Your ring capacity, your yeah, your ring capacity, your speed, your attack, and defense. All gutted, by the way, so you're gonna have to just spam cross slash. Just spam it. If you really want to just deal a lot of damage, because this skill is utterly busted as hell. Indeed is. If you don't remember how to trigger it, just, you know, press left trigger before you hit the A button. Or, you know, whatever the trigger button is and whatever button translates to A in your controller's language. Alright, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. This is basically the fastest way to get damage because these enemies will create a shield if you get too close to them. Or maybe if you interact with them a little bit too much. So, it's basically your best chance of, you know, taking them on. So, be sure to get all those skills whenever you can. I'm doing amazing by spamming all this. Ayo!
Lesure, the Henupus Vandirius, the kind Shulos Duiladius, Leculus Gen, Disc, Doguren, Ojon Divandi.
Don't worry about us. Get going.
I won't let you down, partner.
What are you hanging around for? Afraid to go off without my protection?
No! Shut up! What is Sonic? What literally Sonic just said? Shut up! Hey, you, Nux! I'm talking to you, buddy.
I should be able to climb that thing just fine, but that's not the problem here.
I'll need to go in and out of cyberspace to activate it. You want me to help you with finding the emeralds while I take care of the towers?
Just who do you think you're talking to? Leave the emeralds to me.
On the lone island of, you know, Aranos, you'll find this next tower. Ooh, this one is gonna be a little bit dicey. I'm trying to find a way to cheese this. No, I don't. I actually don't think I can. So, gonna have to start from the bottom, and then now we're here. You know, if I can jump up there. Okay, here we go. So about these towers, I feel like I'm the only one who didn't. I feel like I'm one of the few only ones who didn't really have that much trouble with it. Again, I know I already said this, but I can recognize level design and controls. And I just need, you know, patience and practice. That's all. That's my best advice, really, is just patience and practice. There was only like one of these 4 towers that I've had trouble with. And yeah, I think that tower is kind of BS. So that's something, I guess, if you really wanted to hear me complain about, you know, the sudden difficulty spike and everything. Which, again, that's understandable. Because you probably already caught on by now, but Sonic Frontiers Final Horizon spiked up the difficulty a little bit. I mean, in the launch version anyway. Because at launch, like, even with maxed out attack, I think, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy could barely do any damage against those, like, Guardians. I feel like, yeah, I feel like even with max attack, they could barely make a dent in their health. Because they had so many health, and they're far more, and they were, like, really, really more aggressive than the original versions of those Guardians were. They basically take the Kirby approach and recolored the bosses to make them more aggressive and have new attack patterns. So that happened. However, thanks to the latest patch, things are actually a lot easier, including the towers. Well, under certain circumstances anyway. You probably could catch on by the fact that Rhea Island basically had sort of the same thing. But it all depends on whether or not you switch the difficulty to easy. If you switch the difficulty to easy, then more things to help you out will show up in these towers if you decide to go after this DLC. Ooh, okay. Yeah, kind of bull that they would put those exploding blocks over there, and they have to make you climb up this again, like twice, just to see how it is. But I don't really think it's terrible. But I can see how other people would find it, you know, terrible and really hard. Oh, okay. That was kind of my B. But also I had to climb all the way back up there, so I'm like, ugh. Either way, I get wanting to crank up the difficulty because you think that's like, you think a game is like a little bit too easy. That's something like that can be easily amended with Twitter was right! Yeah, you know what? Maybe Twitter had a point. I guess this is a perfect time to show you then. Switching the difficulty to easy will add more things to help you out climbing up these towers. Thankfully, this was added in the latest update, so be thankful that Sonic Team actually listened to your complaints and actually gave you something to help you out. Even if it does require, like, some menu switching. But you know what? It's okay. It's fine. Back to where we once were, I guess. And no, I'm gonna go for that thug life. I don't care. Okay, so, yeah, just thug life, man. Because I completed all this on the original patch. I did. Or on the launch version, anyway. And I have no shame in saying that I barely had any trouble on my first time.
레진 단식 가르파 암디 레준 디바이스 미간키토르 두엔드 다데나이 규엔 레딜 부에레 가인 규엔작 슈레
Snake! I could have been like, you know, I was one of the greatest warriors of our time. Yeah. I was really cool until you came along and ruined everything, bruh. Anyway, not only this time will Sonic skills be dropped, stats will be dropped to level 1, but only Psyloop will be available, and also parry. This one is something. So here's what you need to do. Because these are the enemies that throw the discs. So, walk up to them, and then as soon as they throw at him, use the homing attack. And then go at this in a pattern. Attack, then parry, then attack, then parry. Like this. Attack 4 times. Once you hear that 4th sound effect, just parry. Or 3rd. You know, depending on your distance. Believe it or not, yeah, I did have to look this up in a guide because, you know, this is hard the first time. But once you know what to do, you know what to do. And suddenly all this is going to be, like, incredibly trivial. But I also get the fact that, you know, this is harder than it really should be, you know? It's like, I get it, you know? I understand. But again, once you know what to do, it's nothing you can't handle. So just keep on going at this pattern until you win.
Da Jersey Golfer, Tauschken Bab, Da Baldrim Koko, Zeigt da Diensk Birens, Dem Lerulas Vidal Biskle Gari.
The Coco helped show us the way.
We've got to reveal those emeralds.
Out of my way, I'm working.
He's like, yeah, I'm working here. I like how Knuckles is just like, yeah, I'm working here, buddy. Either way, I'm going to have a conversation with Eggman before I move on to the next tower.
This island is huge. It's gonna take a lot of work to explore. At least it's not as big as the Sandy Ares Island.
With my Eggmobile, I have no such issues. Even the ancients used transportation to cover the expanse of Ares Island. Did you see the dilapidated bridges and scaffolds around the periphery of Ares Island? The roads and tunnels have broken down over the years, but they were basically highways. Moreover, the highways were full of energy, brimming from underground. The vehicles could replenish energy just by going through tunnels or passing over dash panels. There was no need for filling stations. Oh, but I suppose that doesn't concern someone like you, who can't do anything but roll around at the speed of sound.
Spinning! Ooh, baby. This one. Again, this one's not terrible either, except, well, I'm probably going to have a lot more trouble with that. Also, funny Eggman did the, said the lyrics from that one song. I think it's called, Gunmobile or something. So for this tower, you need to climb up on these contact-sensitive walls if you want to proceed. And yeah, that's about it. Just contact-sensitive walls. Once again, I find this tower to be, kinda not terrible. Because it's literally just climbing walls, which is something that anybody can do. And besides, I have my own ways of skipping it. Or at least skipping some parts of it. I'm not too ashamed to admit that I had far less trouble than most other people. It takes a differing amount of skill, you know? Yeah, we all have, there's the something terrible. Yep, there it was. Okay, so we got that out of the way. And I swear, okay, there it is. Yeah, I'm not too ashamed to admit that I had a lot of trouble with this, and I do wish that, this was at least modified naturally. Like, I can agree with everybody else and say that I wish it was difficult in a more difficult in a more natural sense, like an actual sense of difficulty rather than just making it look making all of this Kaizo. But, it's Sonic Frontiers. There's a lot of jank involved, and the same jank goes for Final Horizon 2. And such jank you'll probably see a little bit later. And among other things too. All right, keep on going. Keep it on going. And I don't need that. There we go. We reached the end of the tower anyway, it's fine.
レバイスクガルファダイクレベルクビルバインガルキバスクジュアルスミルデュークバンデルレニュークテロンアンデルミンガイラ
I find it a little interesting that so far Dragon, Snake, and Tiger are all based on, you know, Amy, Knuckles, and Tails. So I just think that's a little bit interesting. Either way, you have to defeat really fast wolves. Just basically do the same thing as you did before, except do it a lot quicker. And also, once again, only parry and Psyloop, and your stats will be level 1, of course. You can get 2 in one go if you really get them like close enough. Like, you'll be able to damage them both. But here's the thing, though. This is the only thing that you have to do. They really give you way more time than necessary, but I suppose that's fair for people who haven't done this before.
Jindu's Vaira Lezaidu Guanshi Gaizandu Medium Dadre Fask Gai Vice Then Delgas Vai Vice Ingai Postius Len Lanferta Boisastoe
Hurry, Sonic! For the Coco! For all of us!
Is this cloaking technology how the enemy robots appear, too?
Aren't you supposed to be training or something?
I'm not just a damsel in distress anymore. Just you watch. Eventually, you'll be the one relying on me for help.
I feel like I'm relying on you a lot already. Pretty soon, you're gonna be too cool for school.
I'll catch up so fast, you better not blink.
I'm gonna see if I can try to cheese this. Because this tower gave me a lot of trouble here. It's definitely the only one that did so. I can barely do that. Okay. Alright. I'm doing this on Thug Life mode. So this tower, you need to grind on rails and use fans to ascend. And, yeah, this is basically the one tower that gave me trouble, you know, initially. I mean, the original plan was to just show off this tower on easy mode because I've had a lot of trouble with this one, you know, when I was going through it. I even said so on X Twitter that that this is basically the only tower that gave me any sort of shit. And yeah, I'm not kidding. Like, the fact that you have to grind on these rails here, yeah, the fact that you have to grind on these rails and expect me to, like, do, like, a balancing act on all these, it's just like, yeah, that's what we call the Kaizo mode, kids. And, yeah. And not only that, but as you climb higher and higher, like, you'll have to do plenty of different things here, too. Like, here, you need to press all these switches. And then, you need to, Psyloop this. You need to punch that thing over and over and over again until you Psyloop it. You can easily refill it by, just simply punching it until you have enough meter for Psylooping. And then you gotta do it all over again. Just remember to punch and then just press the Psyloop button, like, as fast as you can. I'm really thankful that this didn't... No, I'm not saying anything. This game is so pretty. Oh wait, I should have been boosting. I should have been boosting. There we go. This tower ain't shit. It truly ain't shit at all, buddy.
Guess there's a surprise fourth Titan after all. In the vision I saw, you lost to the enemy when you sealed it in your Titan. How are you here?
The Dao Poryuk, the Dig Letunk, Zand Baiza, Anjink Bork Kara, Duke, Jurenda Dudo.
And Crane. Enemies will be greatly enhanced. So, you gotta fight Ninja, and you got 10 minutes to do it. You gotta be really quick on the draw. Your skills have been reinstated. However, Ninja will be really, really, really fast, by the way. Yeah, like super duper fast. And they seriously gave you 10 minutes to fight this guy? Again, I understand, but for me, that's a little bit too much time, my guy.
Jude, da Gruden Garfa le Grude, Brenzaik Sunday, Duai Funk le Juanch Pure, le da Ruiz. Da Zaik le Varsh de Garki, Guen da Indaksho, Zabai le Bire, Ban Gaisum Milk le Diro, le Barukir, Endu Garmini. Them, Dergas by device. Thanks shots a wipe. Gausa, Galfa Kara.
Whew. It worked. I feel like my old self again.
Excellent. Now we must go to the one who can forge that energy into a new power.
No time to lose.
In the sky. It's corrupting everything on the island, even the cocoa.
I won't stand for it.
Guys, focus. Knuckles needs to weaken that thing's hold on the emeralds, and Tails needs to break them free. I'll handle the cocoa. I have a feeling they'll be crucial to the plan. You will not harm this world! I won't allow it!